Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free. Hit the subscribe button. Click the link below. Nine Wives. Had a great time at that Kanye and Drake concert last night. That shit was lit, man. Damn. Man, that shit was so much fun. All right, we're back on schedule Sunday. We're back on schedule with the podcast on Sunday night, 9 p.m. And we get the final piece of the puzzle. We get with Comey and Lomachenko, because that fight is probably the most important fight as it pertains to what Kambosos will do next. If Comey wins, you already know what's going to happen. Kambosos is going over to Australia, and Comey is going to fight him. And just a matter of what network is going to be on. It'll probably be on something like the Zone, because they're international. And but anyways, man, that's a conversation for a later date. Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios is on pay-per-view. Keith Thurman doesn't have a fan base. Mario Barrios is not a pay-per-view fighter. Keith Thurman is not a pay-per-view fighter without a without another opponent. Now let's just go back in history on TV. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Josecito Lopez, Keith Thurman, Josecito Lopez, Bundu, Robert Guerrero, and the list goes on and on. Well, that's probably all his opponent, and Sean Porter, free on TV. And now we get Barrios on pay-per-view. Now the dumb boxing fans are gonna say, "Oh, we got to pay for this because we got to support the fighters." No, your job is not to support the fighters. Your job is to pay for what you deem is worth the amount of money in which you're paying. I'm here to break y'all little hearts, man. Al Haymon mismanaged that money. $930 million gone. And I told you guys this was coming for a year, and you guys said I was hating. Charles Martin, Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view fight. And I just want you guys to understand, everybody who's getting these big fights is either with Samson or Louis DeCoupis. My question is, they getting all the fight dates, all the dates, all the undercard fighters are either Samson or Louis DeCoupis fighters. Not TMT, not Man Down Promotions, not Swift Promotions, not Lions Only Promotion, not GTD Promotions. Whatever fighter is on PBC, they're not getting dates, man. And I tell you the truth, and you guys act like Democrats. Well, the next election, when we can control the House, when we can control Congress, we can't control Congress. That's why we ain't getting it. Listen, the power is in your hands. From 2008 to 2016, we had the world in the palm of our hands. And black people was just satisfied saying they have a black president. And the same idiotic, stupid stuff that you're doing, that you did with Barack Obama, I did his first term, not the second term. I woke up after I got back from the inauguration on the second term. The same dumb stuff is the same thing that you're doing with Al Haymon. And Al Heyman's getting away from Fat Cat because he's the manager of that hedge fund money that he took. So he's paid. Al Haymon ain't got no concern in the world, man. Al Heyman, he gets paid a managerial fee. You know what I mean? And it's legal. And it's nothing that no one can do about it. And it'll be tapped off as a lost investment. And I think that's what he wants to show now, is that it is a failed investment. So he gets away with the $200 to $300 million that he took off the managing the hedge fund. But you guys don't see. But I know I'm talking to people that have no concept of this, that have no understanding of money and how money flows and how it works and how you offset costs and how. Okay, now these pay-per-view numbers will prove that PBC is a failed business, and he may have already sold his personal um, his personal things, his personal assets in PBC, because he still has a 360 deal on advisory contracts. And I'm never wrong, guys. Okay, as if I wasn't wrong on Al Haymon. Y'all just are emotionally invested in a man that you've never met, spoken to, or heard. And I'm here to tell you, he's not black. He had a chance to be black and failed. He had a chance to support black media and failed. He had I'll use me as an example, and I know my voice speaks for many. And we got a lot of black cowards out there too. A lot of black fighters are cowards, a lot of black media are cowards, and many of y'all black fans are cowards because he chose to align himself with the same people that were um, against him. And um, he knows about the racism in boxing. He knows about Kelly Swanson. He knows about all these other things, but he still chose to work with these men instead of building his own table. You know, what I mean, he wanted to have the best cut of steak amongst all his enemies. He never wanted to build his own table. He never built out PBC. He was simply a content creator that knew how to be a manager and take his cut from the networks. And um, at the end of the day, if you were on the top, you got paid because that's how he got paid. Deontay Wilder's, Earl Spence's, Keith Thurman back in the day, and the list goes on and on. But PBC is no longer PBC, guys. I'm just here to tell you. I mean, by name, but by business model, it's not because they started off free boxing for all. Keith Thurman said, so, okay, good. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So remember, Keith Thurman said, I never want to be on pay-per-view because I want as many boxing fans to see me. Now, y'all think this is a personal vendetta against Al Haymon? I don't respect him because he sided with the other team when he had a chance, when he had people like me telling him that they're racist and he needs to stand up and support these black fighters. Now these black fighters are unemployed. Y'all heard Adrian Broner? You know the reason why these PBC fighters are getting fights on other networks? Marcus Brown, Sean Porter, because he can't afford the purse. So he wants them to fulfill their mandatory. So that's where I'm at with this, man. Rob Blind, Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola on pay-per-view, Tank Davis versus none of these fights are pay-per-view worthy. We only have one pay-per-view fight, y'all. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. That is the only pay-per-view fight that's capable of being on pay-per-view. Maybe Usyk and Fury. Maybe that'll do well overseas. I don't know. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Maybe that fight. What other fight is pay-per-view worthy? Man, this is bad. Then it's a bad day for boxing fans. It's gonna get real expensive if you don't come along with me. Boxing is not affordable for you guys. And when I say you guys, I mean all of boxing. That means me. And I'm separating myself from y'all because I'm not paying for it. I don't have ESPN Plus. I don't have Showtime. I don't have, well, whatever other app you use to zone. I don't have that neither. Because I was smart enough to hit the eject button. And um, and it's funny how you guys have selective morality. Because when I was on Eddie Hearn, y'all loved it. Oscar De La Hoya, you loved it. Bob Arum, you loved it. I'm here to tell you, Eddie Hearn, business, and he's not a great businessman in terms of boxing. But Al Heyman had $1 billion. Eddie Hearn had $1 billion. Who's trending right now? Who's trending higher, better? I would say Eddie Hearn is. You know why? Because he has the support of the people. You know why? Because he does interviews. One of the biggest flaws in PBC is they lack structure. Al Heyman micromanages everything. And he's going to reinvent himself because that's what people do that use other people's money. You understand what I'm saying? That knows how to speak business languages. It never fails. Donald Trump is the same way. Magic Johnson is the same way when he was very entrepreneurial, when he just retired. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. And the Rockefellers the same way. The Carnegies are the same way. It never stops. So, anywho, Keith Thurman is not a pay-per-view fight. Al Heyman blew $1 billion. Business model is up in smoke. There's no business model because remember the free shirts that were given away at fights, free boxing for all. Now it's $75 to watch any fighter that has a winning record at PBC. And it's not personal for me. I just want you guys to know it's not personal. I just tell you guys the truth. And I know half of the people that's gonna listen to this video are in love with Al Heyman. I don't know how you could be in love with a person. Or have you ever been in love with a woman you've never had sex with? Have you ever been in love with a woman you've never been on a date with? Y'all motherfuckers love celebrity women more than you love the woman that's actually dropping off lunch to you. Y'all weirdos, you know? But y'all keep on voting Democrat and say it's going to change in 2024. All we need is Kamala Harris. See now, new thing is going to be we just need Kamala Harris to take over. That's all. We're just waiting our time. That's what y'all going to say. And funny thing is, I don't want to make about that video. Who cares? Barbershop conversations. All your Haymon nights. I used to be pro Haymon. Then I realized who the man was. The man is a piece of shit to me. He has no integrity. He has no cultural integrity. That's the term. Al Heyman has no cultural integrity. Period. He had a chance to be it, and he was. All he cares about is money. And now that he doesn't have money, look what PBC is at. Mario Barrios, Keith Thurman on pay-per-view. Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin. Remember, I told you guys this, and you guys didn't believe me. You said I was hating. No, I just know money. You follow the money, it works. And for anybody who wants to get in boxing, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, and this piss y'all off. If you want to be in business for 55 years, 60 years, you better call Bob Arum, because business is about bottom line. Business is not about the color of the product. Trust me when I say that. It's about the bottom line. And Al Heyman inflated his bottom line because he had to overpay to sustain loyalty to the brand, to PBC. The same thing Eddie Hearn did is the same thing Al Heyman did. He overpaid to infiltrate the market space. And that's what every business does. You know what I mean? And that's why when the store opens, its grand opening, 99 free hot dogs when you spend $5. Free shipping when you spend $99 when they open up, Christmas sales and when they're trying to get your attention. Everyone has to do to get into market space, create attention to earn the consumer's trust. That's business 101. All right. And if you've been listening to my channel, you should own a great business by now just by listening to my videos. I have a thriving business. How many businesses do I own? Too many to count. I got too many deals I got too many irons in the fire. But the point I'm saying is the reason why my businesses are thriving is because I respect my bottom line. Y'all know my name, Frugal Fit. Listen, what y'all didn't do. If Eddie Hearn was wrong, y'all got on. Y'all got to understand there's such thing as black scammers. There are black people in our community that wants to do us harm and rip us off, right? Y'all listen to rap music, right? Who killed Malcolm X? The Nation of Islam killed Malcolm X. Who wanted who wanted Malcolm